All right, welcome to Tech Talk Central, everybody. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're diving deep into a question we get all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Which ultra-short throw projector should I get?
Right. Everyone wants that amazing home theater experience, but no one wants a big, bulky projector hanging from their ceiling.
Or sitting on a coffee table right in the middle of the room.
Exactly.
So we're looking at two of the top contenders in the ultra-short throw market. The NexiGo Aurora Pro.
And the Hisense 100L9G.
And we've pulled information straight from the source.
Mm-hmm.
Their Amazon pages, spec sheets, and of course those juicy customer reviews.
Because let's be real, sometimes what the manufacturer says and what the actual user's experience are two different things.
Totally. So we'll break down the key specs, compare those to real-world feedback, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll know exactly which projector is the right fit for your home theater dreams.
All right, let's get started. Both of these projectors are rocking that 4K UHD resolution everybody's after these days.
And they both use tricolor laser technology, which means...
super vibrant colors.
Exactly. Now, the Hisense 100L9G, they specifically mention using 3 pure color lasers.
Yeah.
Red, green, and blue.
Which is pretty standard for tricolor laser projectors.
Yep.
But the NexiGo Aurora Pro, they're using something called ALPD 4.0 RGB Plus technology.
ALPD 4.0.
Yeah, it's this specific type of laser light source developed by a company called Appatronics.
Okay.
And the big thing about it is it's supposedly more efficient.
So brighter images.
Potentially, yeah, and they say it can achieve wider color gamuts, too.
So even more colors than your typical laser projector.
That's what they claim. Now, to be fair, we haven't tested these side by side in a lab.
Right.
But on paper, the NexiGo's tech sounds pretty impressive.
All right, let's talk about brightness then, because that's a big deal for a lot of people, especially if you don't have a perfectly dark room.
Especially if you want to watch during the day, have some ambient light.
Right. Now, the Hisense 100L9G is packing 3,000 lumens.
Which is pretty bright.
Yeah. And the NexiGo Aurora Pro comes in a bit lower at 2,400 lumens.
Okay, so you might think, oh, the Hisense is automatically better for bright rooms.
Right, because it has more lumens.
Exactly. But we dove into the reviews, and it gets interesting.
Oh, how so?
So one Hisense user said they could easily watch during the day, no problem.
Okay, that's good.
But a NexiGo user said the same thing.
Even though it's less bright.
Yeah, and here's the catch. The NexiGo user was specifically using a Fresnel screen.
Ah, Fresnel screens. Those things are kind of magical.
They really are. They're designed to basically reject any ambient light coming from above or the sides.
So all you see is the light from the projector.
Yep, and that can make a huge difference in perceived brightness, even if the projector itself has fewer lumens.
So basically, if you're in a room with a lot of ambient light...
a good Fresnel screen might be just as important as the projector's brightness rating.
Gotcha. Now let's move on to color.
The good stuff.
Because what's the point to 4K if the colors look washed out?
Exactly. You want those lush, vibrant colors.
And both of these projectors seem to deliver.
The Hisense 100L9G says it covers 107% of the BT 2020 color space, which is really wide.
A lot of colors.
A lot of colors.
Okay.
And the NexiGo Aurora Pro claims 107% of the Rec 2020 color gamut.
Which is basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, they're very close. Both BT 2020 and Rec 2020 are designed to display a much wider range of colors than older standards.
So basically everything should look super realistic.
Exactly. More vibrant, more nuanced, closer to what your eyes actually see in the real world.
Now let's talk about HDR.
That's high dynamic range, for those who don't know. It's all about getting better contrast, brighter highlights, deeper blacks, and more detail overall.
Makes a huge difference in the picture quality.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
And both these projectors support HDR, but there are some differences.
Yeah, the Hisense 100L9G supports Dolby Vision HDR, which is pretty much the gold standard for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it also supports HDR10, which is another common HDR format.
Okay, so it's covered for most content.
Right, but then we have the NexiGo Aurora Pro, and they take things a step further.
Oh, how so?
Not only do they support Dolby Vision and HDR10, but they also have HDR10 Plus and HLG, which is another HDR format mostly used for broadcasting.
So the NexiGo has more HDR formats covered.
Exactly. And on top of that, they're making some bold claims.
Like what?
They say they're the only UST projector on the market with this specific combination of features. Dolby Vision, HDR10 plus AES, a native contrast ratio greater than 3000.1, and dynamic laser dimming.
That's a mouthful.
It is, but it's interesting because that dynamic laser dimming technology, that's a big deal for black levels.
So basically how dark the blacks can get in the image.
Right. It allows the projector to adjust the brightness of the lasers in real time so you can have really deep blacks without sacrificing brightness in other parts of the image.
That sounds pretty impressive, but what are the actual users saying?
Well, we saw a lot of praise for the NexiGo's deep contrast and good colors in the reviews.
Sounds promising.
Yeah, and someone even said the picture quality was amazing when they paired it with a Zedo Z9X media player.
Which I guess is a high-end media player.
I think so. So that suggests that if you feed it good quality content.
The NexiGo can really shine.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk audio. Because, I mean, picture quality is important, but you got to have good sound, too.
You can't have a truly immersive experience without it.
So the Hisense 100L9G, it's got a built-in 40W Dolby Atmos sound system.
Which is not bad at all for a projector.
Yeah, 40 watts is decent.
And Dolby Atmos means you'll get that nice immersive surround sound effect.
Oh, and it has EIRC support, too.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
So you can connect a sound bar or a full surround sound system if you want.
If you want that truly cinematic experience.
And for those who like voice control.
It's got Alexa and Google Assistant built right in.
Fancy.
So you can use your voice to control a projector, adjust the volume, all that good stuff.
Now, the NexiGo Aurora Pro, they actually went with even more powerful speakers.
Yeah, they've got a 60W stereo system.
60 watts? That's a good amount of power?
It is. And they've got dedicated woofers and tweeters in there, too.
Oh, wow. So you get better bass and treble.
Yeah, should sound more balanced.
And they also support Dolby Atmos and ERC.
So you've got that immersive sound and the option to connect an external sound system if you want.
And what's interesting is looking at the reviews, people were genuinely impressed with the NexiGo's built-in sound.
Yeah, someone said it was amazing for a projector.
Which is high praise.
It is. Of course, some people still recommend getting a soundbar or a dedicated sound system if you're really serious about audio quality.
Right. Makes sense.
But it's good to know that the NexiGo at least gives you a solid starting point with those powerful built-in speakers.
All right, moving on to smart features.
The brains of the operation.
Now, the Hisense 100L9G comes with limitless Android Smart TV built right in.
Which is great. You've got access to the Google Play Store, all your favorite streaming apps.
Netflix, Hulu, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So you don't necessarily need any extra devices.
It's all right there in the projector.
Super convenient.
The NexiGo Aurora Pro, on the other hand, doesn't explicitly say it has a built-in smart platform.
Yeah, that's a bit unclear from their marketing materials.
But we did find a customer who said they were using a 4K Fire Stick with it.
And it was working flawlessly.
So it seems like you can definitely use external streaming devices with the NexiGo.
Yeah, if you've got an Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, whatever.
You're good to go.
So it's not necessarily a deal breaker.
Right.
But if you want that all-in-one simplicity of having everything built right into the projector,
The Hisense has got the edge there.
definitely.
Okay, let's talk about motion handling, because this is a big deal for gamers and for anyone who watches a lot of action movies or sports.
Anything fast-paced, you don't want any blur or lag.
Exactly. Now, the Hisense 100L9G boasts this ultra-smooth MEMC motion processing.
MEMC, that stands for motion estimation, motion compensation. Basically, it inserts extra frames into the video.
So the motion looks smoother.
Exactly. Less judder, less blur, especially during fast action sequences.
And they claim it's 10 times faster than OLED, which is saying something.
OLED is known for its really fast response times, so that's a bold claim from Hisense.
Now, the NexiGo Aurora Pro also has MEMC. It's a 120 Hz refresh rate with MEMC for smoother motion and reduced ghosting.
And that's great for everyday viewing, but here's where it gets really interesting for the gamers out there.
Oh, yeah.
The NexiGo also supports 4K at 120 Hz input with a tested input lag of only 8 milliseconds.
8 milliseconds. That's insanely low.
It is, and they say it's the lowest you'll find on any UST projector right now, which is a pretty big deal for gamers.
Huge. Because that means the delay between you pressing a button on your controller and seeing the action on screen is practically non-existent.
Yeah, super responsive, which is crucial for those fast-paced games.
All right, let's talk about what actually comes with these projectors, because sometimes you get some nice extras.
Yeah, sometimes it's not just the projector in the box.
Now, the Hisense 100L9G, they're very clear about this. No screen included.
Yeah, they do sell a version with a screen, but this particular model, you got to buy it separately.
So factor that into your budget.
Especially because with these UST projectors, you really want a good ALR screen.
Right, ambient light rejecting so you can watch during the day without the picture getting washed out.
And those screens can be pricey.
Yeah, definitely not an insignificant cost.
Now, the NexiGo Aurora Pro, they often bundle it with a 100-inch or 120-inch Fresnel screen.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and you can buy the screen separately too, of course. But they really emphasize using a Fresnel screen for optimal viewing.
Which makes sense given what we were talking about earlier with the ambient light rejection.
Exactly. They know that pairing is crucial for the best picture.
Okay, here's a feature that might be a deal breaker for some people. 3D support.
Oh yeah, some people still love their 3D movies.
In the NexiGo Aurora Pro, it does support active 3D.
Which means you can use active shutter glasses to watch 3D movies.
Cool.
The Hisense 100L9G, however, there is no mention of 3D support anywhere.
So safe to assume it doesn't have it.
Probably not. And we even saw a NexiGo customer review where they specifically called out 3D support as a big reason why they chose this projector.
And they said it worked great with the NexiGo's own 3D glasses.
Yeah, so if you're a 3D enthusiast,
Oh, NexiGo's got you covered.
definitely.
All right, let's talk about placement because that's a big selling point for these UST projectors.
Yeah, the whole point is that they can sit super close to the wall.
And the Hisense 100L9G, it can project a 100-inch image from only 30.3 centimeters away.
Which is like barely a foot.
Yeah, you can practically put it right up against the wall.
No more long cables running across the room, no more giant shadows.
It's so much cleaner.
And the NexiGo Aurora Pro, it's also an ultra-short throw. They say it can project an image up to 150 inches.
150 inches, that's huge.
That is huge. Now, their spec sheet does mention this wide range of throw distances, but I think the key thing to remember is...
It's designed for that ultra-short throw place.
Yeah, it's meant to be close to the wall, just like the Hisense.
So no need to rearrange your whole living room. All right, let's talk lifespan, because no one wants to buy a projector and then have it die on them in a couple of years.
Especially with laser projectors, people want to know they're getting their money's worth.
Now, the Hisense 100L9G, they boast about their long lifespan thanks to this X-Fusion technology.
And they say it can last for over 25,000 hours.
Which is a lot.
It is. It means you could use it for several hours every day for years and years before you'd need to think about replacing it.
And the NexiGo Aurora Pro.
They also claim a lifespan of 25,000 hours.
So it seems like both projectors are pretty much on par when it comes to longevity.
Yeah, you should get plenty of use out of either one.
So ultimately, which one is better?
It depends on your priorities.
What are your must-haves?
If you really value that built-in smart platform and you're on a tighter budget,
The Hisense might be the way to go.
but if you want the best possible picture quality, the most advanced HDR, and you're interested in 3D,
The NexiGo seems like the more premium option.
definitely.
So do your research, read those reviews.
And think about your own viewing habits.
And hopefully, this deep dive has given you the info you need to choose the perfect UST projector.
And transform your living room into a true home cinema.
Absolutely. To find the latest prices and deals on both of these projectors, check out the links in the description below.
And don't forget to subscribe to Tech Talk Central for more in-depth tech analyses.
I'll see you in the next one.